captain of club and country. We speak to Liverpool and England's Steven Gerrard. If England are to do well in Brazil, much will depend on their captain and their midfield driving force. Steven Gerrard.
He's an inspiring figure through his quality as a player. He's very sensible. His observations are very good. He's very good with the younger players and the other players in giving them the right type of encouragement. I mean, basically, he does everything you would want of a captain, and most importantly, he does what you want of him as a player and captain, because on the field he always gives the captain's performance.
Stevie's brilliant. He's the perfect captain in that sense. You know, he's got a real presence about him.
He comes up to you straight away and makes you feel part of the team. So Roy's done a fantastic job by making him captain, and I'm sure the young lads and even the lads that aren't young but haven't got tremendous amount of international experience enjoy having Stevie as a captain.
It was Steven Gerrard who clinched England's place at the World Cup finals, scoring the second goal in a 2-0 win over Poland at Wembley.
I thought the goal, to some extent, was just a fitting finale for such a great qualifying tournament for him personally and for him as a captain of the team.
We want to go there and give it our best and try and surprise a few, but I think what will help is there'll be less pressure on us, because the criticism we've had of late has made everyone's expectations lower slightly.
Steven Gerrard was born and raised on the outskirts of the city where he would make his name. Aged 9, he was spotted by Liverpool scouts. 8 years later, he signed his first professional contract.
I had letters off the majority of the top flight teams at the time. A couple of letters from abroad as well at 13, 14 years of age. So, although I didn't have a decision to make because I knew what I was going to do, it was still nice to get a flavour of what other clubs were like, how they run, what the people were like, what the coaches were like. And to be fair to all the other clubs, they were good. But nothing was going to pull me away from here.
You can't be signed for a football club just because of where you're born. You've got to have ability. So the ability is the first and most important thing. But it's a real bonus when they're local lads and coming in, and that's what everybody wants to try and achieve for the football club.
I think right away you knew he was going to be a player in the first team for a long time. Did I know he was going to be a world-class midfielder, one of the best, if not the best? No, but you always knew he was going to be a top player.
Gerrard made his debut in 1998 and within 2 years was representing his country. International caps at youth level were followed by a first senior appearance in May 2000 against Ukraine and a place in the squad for that summer's European Championships. At club level, he was becoming known as a young man for the big occasion. In 2001, Liverpool won the League Cup, FA Cup and UEFA Cup, with the youngster playing his part in every final.
To contribute at such a young age and get that trophy in your hand and a winner's medal was what dreams are made of, really. I've grew up watching tapes of all the famous Liverpool teams and all the players, and I've had it drilled into me both on and off the pitch. You know, you've got to follow the history, you've got to deliver. There was an element of relief, if you like, when you get them trophies in the bag that you've added to this great club's history. I think you realise when you get a bit older and you see how difficult it is to win one trophy, so to do 3 in 1 year is some achievement.
In September 2001, Gerrard scored his first international goal against Germany in an unforgettable 5-1 victory in Munich.
I've had some fantastic memories in an England shirt, my debut and the goals I've scored, leading the team out and stuff, but if I had to pick one full 90 minutes, it'd be the 1-5 scoreline over in Munich, you know, in their backyard. They were favourites going into the game. No one believed we could get a result, and after the first 10-15 minutes, we played them off the pitch and gave them a complete pasting.
Injury meant Gerrard missed the 2002 World Cup, but the following season brought more club success as Liverpool defeated Manchester United 2-0 in the League Cup final. Once again, on the big occasion, Gerrard delivered. That summer, Liverpool manager Gerard appointed him captain, and within 6 months, he was also leading England in the absence of David Beckham.
It meant the world to me, being the captain of Liverpool, but looking back at it now, it was a big call. from the manager at a young age. There was a lot of big leaders and big players in the dressing room. There's a lot of pressure on me, and I feel as if I've handled it really well, but I mean, it could have went the other way.
Stevie sets the example, and he's always a reference of the team, and you know that he's always gonna be there leading the team.
The following season, Liverpool faced Olympiacos in the Champions League group stage, needing to win by 2 clear goals to reach the knockout round. Midway through the first half, they found themselves facing elimination. But the second half saw a remarkable turnaround.
Yeah, the momentum changed. We got on top, the cop got behind us, the 12th man were roaring us on, and they were sucking the ball in. It felt like that. It felt like every attack we were going to score. There's an old saying, never give up till the whistle goes, and this game was a perfect example of it. You know, a ball fell to me very late on and I caught it really sweet, and that was the important goal.
I've never seen anyone with that capacity to kick the ball and to contact with the ball, because it's the perfect contact with the ball when Stevie gets it.
That 3-1 win provided the momentum for Liverpool to reach the final in Istanbul. Their first European Cup final since 1985. But the first 45 minutes saw Milan race into a 3-0 lead. Liverpool was shell-shocked and, it seemed, beaten.
Emotional, on the floor. Probably the worst I've ever felt in a football kit.
It's obviously gone wrong the first half, majorly wrong, and a lot of head and hands, and you know, the biggest game of your life, and it's getting humiliated in front of the whole world.
After a half-time dressing down by the manager and also a regroup from the lads, we came out a completely different team second half.
Liverpool's captain led by example, scoring to spark one of football's most dramatic comebacks.
He never hides from those important moments when the leaders and the captains, they have to show that responsibility to be leading the group.
Then Vladimir Smica scored, before Xabi Alonso completed a remarkable turnaround. 3-3, and the final would eventually be decided on penalties. And with Liverpool leading 3-2, Milan's Andrei Shevchenko missed. The comeback was complete.
My stomach turned, like when you get like an excitement that you can't control. I've had it 3 other times with the birth of my 3 children, and this feeling was very similar. That's how I felt when I knew Shevchenko would miss that penalty.
The European Cup would remain on Merseyside, because this was Liverpool's 5th win in the competition. History had been written.
I think that was probably the best moment I've had in football. That was, if I could go back to one time, it would be that. That was the greatest moment of my footballing career.
I was flat on my feet, but I was just enjoying and milking every single moment I could. But now when I look back and see the pictures, and I know it's real, and I can take that memory to the grave with me.
The following year brought more heroics from Liverpool's captain. If the 1953 FA Cup final is known as the Matthews final, the 2006 version belongs to Steven Gerrard. Liverpool trailed West Ham by 2 goals after half an hour.
If I had to pick a performance where everything clicked, every part of my game was on, it'd be Cardiff.
In comes Gerrard! And they are back on level terms.
But as the final went into injury time, Liverpool trailed once again 3-2. Plagued by cramp, Gerrard still had an unforgettable part to play.
Gerrard! Oh! Oh, goodness me! What a strike!
I was that exhausted and that tired, and I had nothing left to give except one last swing in my boot, and it was probably Olympiacos aside the sweetest strike I've ever hit a ball.
I don't really like people shooting from that far out, because very rarely you score. But what can you say to Stevie when he has a shot? He's done it so often. But that did seem further out than normal for him. He's just whacked it, and it's gone down in history as now as the Steven Gerrard final.
Liverpool triumphed in another penalty shootout, winning the FA Cup for a 7th time. with their captain now regarded as one of the best midfielders in the game.
Sometimes I have to, you know, pinch myself, and I mean, it hasn't all been great. There's been highs and lows along the way, and there's been some bad times, but I think the bad times help you to strive for the good times, and I wouldn't change any of it for anything.
I think with Stevie, we always list players' strengths and weaknesses, and I always say his biggest strength, he's got no weakness, because he can do everything. He can go through, tick all the boxes, passing, tackling, pace, strength, good in the air, scores goals, he can defend, plays different positions. He's been one of the standout midfielders of his generation.
The ensuing years brought highs and lows, and though Liverpool and England largely struggled, Gerrard was voted PFA Player of the Year in 2006 and awarded an MBE the following year. 2007 saw him lead Liverpool to another Champions League final, though AC Milan exacted revenge with a 2-1 win. In 2008, Gerrard scored his 100th club goal against PSV in the Champions League. And a year later, he was voted the Football Writers' Player of the Year. Liverpool's next trophy arrived in 2012 when they beat Cardiff City in the League Cup final. Brendan Rodgers' appointment as manager later that year has seen fresh faces and a new optimism at Anfield. And yet still, Captain Gerrard remains the Liverpool leader and heartbeat.
World-class player, the legend for the club. You know, I don't think there's many players that have got the status that he has in world football and for Liverpool and for his country and everything. And he deserves it all. He works extremely hard. It's easy to work with him, and it's great to have him as my captain for both club and country.
I'm enjoying being captain. I'm enjoying working with Brendan and this group of young players. And we're playing well. We're moving forward in the right direction, and I think we can fight for some trophies. I do.
The supporters realise what a player they've got and what a legend he's been for over 15 years. But I think in another 15 years, people will be talking to the kids and the grandkids and saying they watched Steven Gerrard play, and that's the best thing I can say about him.
This summer, England coach Roy Hodgson will be relying on his captain, one of only 8 players to reach 100 caps for his country. Gerrard will be the man his teammates look to for inspiration. Drawn in a group with Uruguay, Italy and Costa Rica, England may not be among the favourites this summer, but in Steven Gerrard they possess a true world star. One who leads by example and who is not finished yet.
Still living the dream. I just want to enjoy every day and every minute of it. If I can achieve a couple more big things in my career before I finish, I'll be a very satisfied man.